How's it going, everybody? There was an update in the latest and greatest of things of the study world. Everybody should know at this point that I am studying for the CCNP certification, and in the process of doing that, I came across INE's website and was doing a little bit of poking around, and basically what I found was the process of adjusting my monitors at the same time here. I found I bet you my oldest son was playing with this thing. It looks a little jacked up. But, sorry to keep changing the subject. I found, that's better. Squeeze a little bit. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. I found on INE's website, in their forum section, I found the CCNP lab workbook, which is nothing short of amazing. And actually, I'm zoomed in a whole lot. Let me zoom out just a little bit here. And basically, what this is going to cover is not the current version, but the version before this one. So this one is going to cover the BCMSN, so Building Cisco Multi-Layered Switch Networks, the the BSCI. Building Scalable Cisco Internetworks, the ONT, and the W something or other. ONT Converged Networks, and the ISCW, which is the Building Secure Converged WAN Wide Area Networks. Basically, what this stuff is right here is once you get your basic layer 2 and layer 3 routing and switching up and running, you would use because you're going to have BGP and OSPF and EIGRP and IS to IS and some multicast and your IPv6. And then what you're going to do is you're going to run site-to-site VPNs. You're going to set up site-to-site GRE over IPsec VPNs. Basically, VPN is secure, where what you're going to do is you're going to set it up to where the site-to-site GRE is the most basic tunneling encryption that's out there. So it's basically generic routing encapsulation over an IP security VPN tunnel. So basically you're going to encrypt a GRE tunnel, and you're just going to run a VPN over it. So we're going to go through all this, and I will have no choice but to use my lab equipment. So I'm actually going to fire up a couple of pieces here pretty quick. Probably not during the time that you guys are going to be on here with me, but actually I've got a if anybody is familiar with INE's topologies and how they run stuff, this is actually the same setup you'll find for their CCIE, for their route and switch topology. And because you'll have 6 core routers, you'll have 4 core switches, and then you'll have a frame relay switch and a terminal server. Your terminal server will just have console connections to all of these devices, where a frame switch is actually just typically in the CCIE you'll have backbone routers, and they'll just be added in, and the one frame relay or the one backbone router is a frame relay switch. But as you can see, the physical WAN cabling is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's nothing really complicated about it. You're going to have a frame relay circuit set up, so you have 5 routers. Actually, I do have 5 routers, so I could technically make this work for 5, but I don't have 5 serial cables. So what I'm going to end up doing is for I will actually set this up in GNS3, and then I run a connection out through my switch, and the switch will connect into the other devices. So I'll use my routers, and I'm actually going to have to buy, what is this, 1, 2, 3, or wait, yeah, 1, oh, wait a minute, might have to buy an additional, to figure out what this is and buy a couple more, because I'll be short. But anyway, actually I can set this up in GNS3, and I will do that as well, to where this will be the physical cabling. Then we have the switches, and then the Del C numbers down here, the Advanced Enterprise Services, so we'll be running, I'll run 3725s, and 3550s will connect in, and let's see here. Does it give a topology? I think it does. You're probably saying, why don't you just hit the down arrow? Here we go. So what I'm going to end up doing for the campus design, this is for your switch network. As you can see right here, it goes into it. Now, why am I showing you this one versus not showing you the ones for the CCIE? Well, that's simple. This one was free. You guys can download this as well. Actually, when I get started getting this kicked off, I'll actually set it up to where you guys can download this as well. So if you guys wanted to follow along, you will need real equipment for this to work. There is a lot of features that you can't use in Packet Tracer and you can't use in GNS3 that you will need live equipment for. And unless you're using like Boson they emulate a lot of the same stuff, it's still not going to fly for you. You're still going to need live equipment for some of the features. So what I'm going to end up doing is this is your core switching, and as you can see, there's a lot of core switching to do. So what I'll do is let's scroll back up here. What I'll do is instead of having instead of setting each building up as its own what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Not local VLANs. Yeah, local VLANs. Yeah. Instead of setting it up like that, what I'll end up doing is I will go in and I'll set it up to where it'll be HQ and HQ1 and HQ2 will be just one building. Or I'll have what I'll do is I'll have it set up to where there will actually be a switch right here, and these guys will actually be layer 2 switches, and then I will just use trunking to get down to them and go that route, because there's a lot of stuff in here. This stuff right here will be pretty straightforward. I wish I had more equipment to do it with, but I just don't. So that's what I'll do. And I think down here, just a little ways, probably easier just to hit the down arrow. There we go. And this is for gateway redundancy. I will do the same thing with that one. I'll have it. I'll set this up in GNS3 and a topology, and you guys will be able to see how that goes. Now, where this one will actually come in, and he gives you all the solutions to this, so you're able to copy and paste it in if you want to. Let's see here. Let's get dangerous. Now that's the BC MSN. Or the switch side of the house. And the BSCI should be right up here. Okay, so this is the BSCI, or the route series. So we're going to go through and we're going to set this up in GNS3 as well, to where you'll have the remote branch offices, you'll have HQ1 and HQ2. So this is actually going to be probably the best setup for it. And let me zoom out one more time. So what I'll do is I'll set it up to where I'll figure this out. I haven't actually come up with a game plan yet, but I'll set it up to where this will be all scalable, because what we'll end up doing is everything you throw in EIGRP, you'll rip that out and put all OSPF in there. Once OSPF has been configured and done, we'll rip OSPF out, we'll put IS to IS in. Now, I've never configured IS to IS, so this will be good for me because it's something that I haven't dealt with before. And as you can see, there's going to be support channeling, and I'll pretty much configure this the same way. A lot of this stuff is going to be the same because of the fact of the way it is. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 crossover cables that I can play with. So I have 4 switches. So I could theoretically do, I'll set it up to where it'll be for like these guys, to where I'll have multiple branch offices. It'll be 13550 will be the VLAN router, and then I'll have a 2950 at each one of the branches. So back up top of the BCMSN, or the switch side of it, where you've got the 4 switches for the core, I'll set that up to where the 23550s will be doing the layer 3 switching. And scrolling down here, I think, yeah, and see, this is IS to IS. Now, I've never configured it, so I'm going to have to watch some IS to IS videos and figure out how to do that. I'm sure it's not going to be hard. I know there's just level 1 and level 2, and the differences between them, and then I'll explain this. So, I'm going to go, this is how you set up the ISP setup, to where you have the branch offices, you got the, what's the word I'm looking at? The lease line connections to the branch offices. I'll set this up, and then you'll have BGP. And however, I haven't actually been seeing IBGP, EBGP, advertisements, aggregation, outbound path selection, inbound path selection with best path, and probably, I'm guessing, med, yeah. Multicast, to where one of these guys is going to be an RP, and PIM, and I'm definitely going to want to focus on that. There's not a whole lot to do in multicast, as you can tell. And go from there. They give you a multicast address. So that's in IPv6. They're going to have that set up to where that's pretty straightforward. That's nothing complicated. And then they'll have the addressing. And I'll have to go back through that a little bit. BSCI solutions. And let me scroll down through here real quick. Because the reason I'm flying through this so fast is so that I can cover this. And just about there. OSPF security. I got a little ways to go. You know, how about we do this? Okay. Well, we should be almost there. This will be pretty much okay. ISCW and the ONT. This guy right here will pretty much. We'll have to throw the SDM on here, and I have to find. This section will be definitely done in GNS3 because I don't have the let's see. I don't have the iOS versions, or an iOS capable of running VPNs. So this will be a VPN setup. I don't know if there's any other ones down here. I think that's it. So what I'll do is for all of these guys, I'll set this topology up. So I'll probably have a handful of topologies that I'll build, and for the most of them, I'll cable them as such, and I will connect my home lab in to it to where it'll be all broken down and stuff like that. So I'll have to figure that out. I don't have a good game plan for it yet, but when I get it all situated, I'll have it labbed up. I'll show you the topology and explain what's going to be where and stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff is going to play into the what's the best way to put it? Excuse me. I said a slice of pizza. The best way to put it is going to be like this. For those of you that are studying for your CCENT and your CCNA, this will build up to that. Because I'll go through and I will set up. I'll set it up to where I'll walk through through the theory and implementing things. Like I'll set up router on a stick in GNS3, and then eventually I'll be able to do more because I'm gonna have to buy at least 2 or 3 more cables. I'm planning on upgrading the RAM in all of my routers, so I'll be able to do that. But on top of that, I will have to I'll have to figure some stuff out. I don't have a lot of good answers, but I wanted to show you guys what you'll be dealing with and how we'll figure it out. Because all this is going to be VPNs. Like we'll have remote offices, we'll have the HQ, and then I'll have to go into setting this stuff up. I don't know how I'm going to do it in GNS3. I know I can set it up in um, on the routers. So this stuff might take me a little bit, but I don't really need to worry about this too much. I know all I need to know how to do is GRE tunneling for the actual CCNP, the current one. So a lot of this stuff is going to be added stuff in there, like IS to IS, multicast at the basic level. So that I'm trying to get as much into the CCNP as I can, so that when I come to the CCIE level, that it's pretty much already there. Just a matter of adding in like advanced BGP, advanced MPLS, advanced IS to IS. So eventually I plan on going in and tackling the CCNP service provider and going that route. So that'll pretty much be the angle that I take. So over the course of the next couple months, because it's the beginning of May, I'm hoping that by the end of May I'll be ready for the CCNP switch. So I'm going to spend a lot of time doing that. I will be doing let's see here. I will be doing, what is it? Two or three rack sessions on INE's racks, and I'll be recording probably at least one of the sessions, so that I have some video references for myself, to where I'll walk through the scenario, set it up, and go that route, because I'm going to need private VLANs behind me and layer 3 or layer 2 QoS with the 3560s. So I'm definitely going to have to do that, and I'm thinking about investing money into a 3560, and I'm thinking probably, I don't know, sometime in the fall, Christmas time-ish, maybe, when I'm studying for the CCIE, is I will go through and I'll probably end up buying more routers, because I have 5 of them right now. I'm probably going to need another, I don't know, I may, well, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably would only need 5 1841s, because you got to find routers that'll support MPLS. So 1841s I know support MPLS, and once I find routers that support MPLS that are, even like 3725s, I'm just curious now. We're gonna jump out to www.ebay. Okay, this is current. So we're going to type in Cisco 3725. Wow. That's cheap. Those are really cheap. Wow. $60? What's up with this? Something can't be right about these. Do not include flashcards. See, that's one thing you gotta make sure you're watching, because here you could be like, oh, well, here's 8 of them for really, really cheap, and they don't even have what you need. So be mindful of that when you buy them. Also, the other thing you will have to be mindful of is, let me jump out to Cisco's, let's see here, we're going to type in products, routers, we're going to put in branch routers, and the 3700, and we're going to put in, let's see here, configuration. No, that's not what I want. I know what I'm looking for. It's just a matter of finding it. See, these guys support this stuff, like the VPN tunnels, multi-point VPN, DMVPN. Let's see here, what else? A lot of VPN stuff. Voice over IP. yeah, that's pretty much it for that. But let's. Oh, here we go. And so what you'll end up having to do is 3725 multi-axis is you'll have to buy, or I'm sorry. Oh, that's not it. I need software on chassis is what I need. ROM on software. See, what you'll have to do is you'll have to find Advanced Enterprises K9. You'll have to find 12.4.15T14. So you got 12.4.15T Advanced Enterprise Services, and it's you have to make sure that when you're downloading the correct iOS that you have 64 megabytes of flash RAM, or a flash and 256 meg of RAM. Flash is where you store the iOS. 256 meg of RAM is how fast it moves. So it's basically the same thing as your computer. So this is the hard drive, so to speak, and this guy right here is how fast it moves. This is the engine. Okay, so when you guys are looking at, I have, you'll have to run. Let's see here. See, I have Advanced Enterprise Services, and you may ask me, what's this one? I'm not exactly up the factory upgrade, but I'm not really sure what the difference between these two is. I'd have to look, but like I said, 3725. I'm finding them for not much at all. So I was thinking 3560s or 1841s, but now that I'm finding 3725s for so cheap, I don't want 3750, I want 3725. I'm finding these at really good prices. See, now what you can do is type in lot of, and then you'll find out if people have a bunch of them to sell. And gotta be careful with that. Lot of. $26.12s. Oh, guess not. Well, this guy's got 1760s. But make sure that you understand that if you buy equipment from eBay, that you're buying the equipment that's going to do the job for you. Because in this case right here, I have $115 for one of them. There's two available. So like $115, two available, and it says two available, ask more quantity. So basically, you want to look at it like this. You want to see what it comes with. So right now, it doesn't really have a whole lot going on. And so right now, the RAM's got, flash memory's got 32 meg of RAM installed, 128 meg of RAM. So this is where the iOS is going to go. This is how fast it's going to move. If you notice here, 64, 256. So out of the gate, you're going to have to know that you're going to have to upgrade the RAM because of the fact of how big the iOS is. So actually, if we let's see here. Let's go support. Let's go routers. I'm showing you this stuff for a reason because I ran into this problem with my equipment to where I wasn't smart when I was buying. I bought older equipment that doesn't support. So we're going to type in install and upgrade guides. And 3700 updating the memory. because what this will do is it'll give you the. Don't be worried if it flashes to where it's not going to go through, and what am I looking for here? Data sheets. Okay. 3725 has two 128 meg SD RAM DIMMs and a single 32 megabyte compact flash module. So it comes with Cisco 3725 comes with 32 megabyte compact flash default. So you can upgrade it, it sounds like. And let's see here. Does it have anything? No. I'm looking for something to jump out at me when it comes to the iOS that it can run. And oh, this is how fast. This is how many packets per second it can push. So it can push 100,000 packets per second. And you can put an Ether switch module into this. So this basically you can run everything on your router. These are beefy routers. As a matter of fact, these are the routers that I run. That's a 3725. That's a 3745. That's not what I was looking for. We're gonna go white papers. No. End of life sale notice. Right here. So it was replaced with the 3925. So the 3925 came out and replaced the 3725. So yeah, it doesn't really say a whole lot when it comes to it, but there is actually one specific thing I'm looking for. Routers. Rob Boyd, awesome guy. We're gonna click on branch and 3900, 2900, 1900, 800. ISRG2 for your, I think, voice. No. I don't know. But as you can see, the 2900 series is pretty beefy. But all products. Yeah, it doesn't have it listed in here. Let's go back a couple here. Product support, routers. 3700. Let's see here. Oh, tech notes. Here we go. Maybe that's what I wanted. I'll find it eventually. Let's see here. Ah! Not quite. Because basically what I'm looking for is what I should download for, or how much I'm going to actually need to run. Hardware support. Yeah, I mean there's a ton of information up here. But let's see here. Memory requirements. I mean, it did say that when you went to go, actually that's product support, download software, and we type on routers. No, I want secure routers. Type on branch routers, and then 3700 series, and 3725, and then you software on chassis, because that's going to be the iOS. And the PDLM, or the Protocol Description Language module, if you are going to be running any type of QoS and you want to decide, or quality of service, and you want to be determining which type of QoS you want to run, and you need to know, or not so much what type of QoS you want to run, but if you need to know what you need to classify, and for congestion or what have you, you're experiencing a lot of slowness on whatever, whether it's a lot of web servers stuff or whatever, you can use NBAR, Network-Based Application Recognition, and NBAR has a software package. It runs off a PDLM, which is basically the database, so it knows what to look for. So as it's seeing the protocols go through the router, it can pull it out and say, okay, this much is this protocol is doing this, and this. PDLM is what tells it that. So I'm seeing 64. I don't see. Oh, there's 132, but it's base. So there's not going to be a whole lot of feature sets in this one. So basically, what I'm it's 12.4T or 12.4.15. So like I said, I'm still not seeing a whole lot of anything running 30. This is 12.4.15T. So I would get this one. I've already got this iOS, so I'm not really concerned about that. But what I would end up doing is I would, for me, it's a matter of getting something I'm going to know I'm going to be able to use. And in this case, if it tells me that I need, actually, you know what? Let's, no, I'm not going to do that. You can easily determine what you're going to need to run just by what options are out there. So when you get stuff like this where you have 10100, it's $89. Buy now. You know, it's actually probably a pretty good deal. So that's the it's 2U. So you guys can see how that works. So and it's modular, so gives you that option. So and for $90, they're actually a really good price. So what I'll end up doing is you'll take this, and like this will be the software you need. And actually, let me break this down for you real quick. It's decompressing the image. I don't know what image it's running. So Bootstrap is 12.2. Let's see here. Okay, so right now it's got 64 meg of RAM on it, of compact flash, and 31 meg of RAM, or 32 meg of RAM for the flash. So it's actually got actually got a lot in there. But remember, there's 2 slots for it. So I'm not seeing what iOS it's. Oh, that's a show tech, show diag. What's the backplane say? Let's see here. Yeah, he did show diag, show terminal. That really doesn't tell you anything. 12.3, whatever he's running, it's got 12.3. shows you the interfaces that it's got running, and then he's running 3725. It's just a base image, 12.3.9. There's it's Enterprise is J. It's a crypto feature so that it can do SSH. So it's not a bad feature set. So right now he's got 90 some meg of RAM available, or a flash available that he can play with. This right here is where you store your iOS or your running config. But this is right here is what you would want to run on your machine so you can get the proper iOS. So that's one thing you're going to want to pay attention to when you're going through and buying equipment, is make sure that the iOS you need to run is going to be enough. So yeah, that's why I'm looking the way I'm looking here, because it's, for me, there's a lot of good deals, and if I can get, they say $60 for the 8 of them. I don't need 8 routers. The most I would need is 6. But like right here, $200. And I'll keep watching this. It won't be a while until I buy the routers, but 12.4 CCNA. I love how people say that CCNA. Oh, buy now with the CCNA. You don't need anywhere near this much for the CCNA. C64 mega flash. 125 is a good deal, actually. And they want $40 for shipping. So this isn't bad. That's the back. That's another thing you want to pay attention to. Let me click on this real quick. That's T1C DSU CSU. That's not going to help you if you need serial, because that right there, when it plugs, you plug in an Ethernet cable, and that cable goes to the smart jack that you would need. So it says 1 DSU T1 V2 over in the lower right hand corner. V2 means it's supposed to be a faster speed. Then you have the fast Ethernet ports. I'm right in the middle of your screen right there. That guy right there. That's where you're going to want to have your WIC 1T plugged in. This guy is designed for a T1, so a 1.5 meg circuit. This guy, and if you look right below there, there's your flash. Right in the very middle of your screen where the little barcodes are. And then over here, if you look where it says LP is loop, AL is an alarm, and CD is carrier detect. And if the loopback, which is the very, very middle of your screen or where my mouse is pointing, loopback, if you see loopback on, that means it's looped up. That's because carrier's got you. And then he's actually got 2 of them. So what he actually did, more than likely, is he had 2 of them running, and he was running, my guess is he was running multi-link PPP or an ATM IMA. So he had 2 of them here, so he would run 2 T1s and you would bond them together. Then you get the console, the aux port. Aux port is for modem. Console is obviously for you to remotely manage it, or to manage it directly. Power button, power. Then we have the big one right here. That is going to be for your EtherSwitch module. So then you got CF1. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Oh, compact flash. Then activity light, 100 megabits per second on both sides. And then you have WIC 2, actually goes from left to right. WIC 0, WIC 1, and WIC 2. So if you're going to buy this, you'd have to make sure that it's got the right amount of RAM in it. Let's see, right here it's got 64 megabytes of flash memory. So this right here would be enough. And then he wants, I would pay that price easily, because you figure 3725s, they're cheap. They are really cheap, so they're a good deal. I think I would probably pick one up. at this price, $37.25. There's not many of them up here though. That's the thing. Oh, that's because I clicked on a lot of. Yeah, see, there's 245 of them. So I would definitely think about doing this. This would definitely be a help to me because they're relatively inexpensive. And then if you're watching it, now this one's got a lot of flash. So, and a CCIE, that's actually a very fair assessment because that's what it is. 125 bucks, really good deals. $89, as long as it's got enough flash. Because I think, hang on, let me pause the video real quick. Oop, where'd I go? Right here. As you can see right here, I have Advanced Enterprise Services K9MZ 12415T8.RAR 38 megabytes. That's how big the file is. So you would need to have 64 meg of flash to run this. So be mindful of that when you're buying equipment, because I made the mistake of not buying enough, because I got some routers here that only have 8 meg of RAM, and there's no way they're going to support that big of an iOS. So when you're buying equipment, make sure you're paying attention to that. And I plan on buying a rack pretty soon here, so that I'll be able to do that and go from there. So just wanted to throw that out there so you guys can see what's going on and stuff like that. So I'll be going through and talking about the stuff, and I'll start with the switch section. I'll go through that, and I'll take you all the way through. I'll explain how to set the port security up. It'll be happening pretty soon here. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears tuned, and we'll go from there. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.